welcome back to my channel. Live from the kitchen today, I'm going to show you how I prep my lunches for the week. You'll see a lot of this is based off of the meal prep that I did yesterday. So today's Sunday. On Sunday, I usually prepare the lunches that I'll be bringing to work for my 3 in-office days. So you'll only see 3 days here. For my other days where I work from home, I just like to prep food freshly, but even that comes mainly from all the meal prep that I did yesterday. Unfortunately, I could not film the meal prep yesterday, but I'll still kind of walk you through what I have in the freezer, in the fridge, and how I make prepping lunches easy and quick, and give you some ideas because I am used to eating the same thing quite often. I think having good rotation meals is really important. So hopefully this video shows you ideas for rotation meals, as well as how to pack a meal efficiently for work. Just a little disclaimer before we start. I will include the macros and the calories because I know a lot of people are interested in that. If you don't care about that, you can just skip this, it's totally fine. I'm going to be using Macro Factor to track everything, so you'll be able to see all of the information on screen. For me, this is how I eat in maintenance. So this is not a cut, this is not a bulk, this is what I eat just to be able to maintain my weight and be able to perform in my training. So hopefully this is helpful. Leave a comment below if ever you have some specific meals or video ideas that you'd be interested into, and let's get started. All right, so first things first, we're gonna need some containers. As for sizes, I like these a lot because they fit my meal prep and it's good for lunches. And then I also pack my breakfast, which for the 3 days that I'm in office, I only eat Greek yogurt for breakfast. It just makes it so simple and easy to bring. The 4 other days in the week when I'm at home, I eat literally anything else, but I do have Greek yogurt for breakfast every single day when I'm in the office. We're gonna start here with the breakfast, which is going to be 250 grams of Greek yogurt. I use the plain 0% fat. I personally just prefer the plain because I like to add things on there. So that's my personal preference, but you can feel free to do whatever you want. I personally cannot stand the taste of creatine, so I always hide it in my yogurt. So we're gonna do 5 grams of that in every single yogurt bowl. The only reason why I'm measuring it, because I'm sure you're thinking, why are you measuring that? You have a little spoon there. It's because this spoon is for 8 grams, so I usually grab a little bit less than the spoon and try to make sure I have 5. I'm just gonna do a quick mix of these. Whenever I decide to add protein powder to this, because sometimes depending on my protein goals and if I'm in a cut or whatever, I will need to focus on having more protein in my meals. When I do that, I will usually mix all of the food together in a big bowl and then transfer it over to the smaller bowls, because trying to mix everything properly in the small bowls is quite difficult. But it's fine if you're doing it with just a little bit of creatine like that. For topping this week, I'm using this mixture, which is just whole strawberries that I bought in a frozen bag, and just let that simmer on the oven for approximately 2 hours. I'm doing approximately 80 grams of that. And the reason why I did this is normally I like to put sliced strawberries in there, but I mistakenly bought the whole strawberries, which is very difficult to eat. So instead, I'm doing this. The final ingredient that I'll be adding to these is unsweetened coconut flakes. I do not use a lot of this because this is quite calorie dense. So it adds a nice texture and a nice taste, but you can do what you want, but I prefer to not go extremely heavy-handed. I will usually do approximately 8 grams of that. 8 grams is 59 calories. So I'm going to limit myself to that if I want to use calories for other things during the day. Okay, so we're done for breakfast. I do add an apple to every single day, so I'm going to be cutting that up, but at least for the main part of breakfast, this is it. I'm just going to go ahead and input all of that in Macro Factor right now. So for this breakfast, we have 232 calories, 20 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat, and 19 grams of carbs. I forgot to add, I put monk fruit in the jam that I made just to cut a bit of the tartness. It has 0 calories, so I'm not logging it. Next, I'm going to be cutting up some apples. I'll just wash these quickly, and I normally eat for breakfast the Greek yogurt around maybe 8 or 9, and then around 10 or 11, I will have an apple. And yeah, let's get into it. So far we have breakfast, then let's say second breakfast or snack. Lunches is the only thing missing. I'm currently cooking up my vegetable for the week, which is broccoli, which is my vegetable for most weeks. I have a salty snack with little crackers and then a sweet snack for every day. So I have one day with Oreos and then 2 other days with these Jell-O cups. These are 50 calories each, I believe, so all of these are nice little sweet snack options. While my broccoli is cooking up, I'm gonna start packing the lunches. The main thing that I do to help with lunch planning is the meal prep that I do every single week, where I prepare different kinds of meats and then I freeze them individually and will tag them based on what's in there. So for this week, I made Greek pork, taco pork, also made beef bulgogi. I always have rotisserie chicken, so I just buy rotisserie chicken and undo it and put it in bags. And yeah, beef bulgogi, and I have some teriyaki chicken in the back as well. I also always keep rice on hand. Okay, so for the lunches, I'm planning to do 3 different things. Again, this is not a video about all the meal prep that I did ahead of time, but the meal prep that I did ahead of time is what is a building blocks to these lunches. But I have 100 grams of teriyaki chicken here, 125 grams of bulgogi beef, and 125 grams of Greek pork. I'm going to be mixing and matching these with some sushi rice for the teriyaki chicken and the beef bulgogi, and then just some regular basmati rice with spices for the Greek pork. And then once my broccoli is done cooking, I will add that up in there, and it's gonna be that simple. Normally, what I do is I prepare on Sunday my lunch for Monday and Tuesday, because then it's pretty fresh. And then my Thursday lunch, I usually prep it Wednesday evening. That way it stays fresher. But just for the purpose of this video this week, I'm going to be eating this and it will have sat in the fridge for maybe like 3-ish days. It's still not bad. I know some people like to make all of their meal prep 7 days early and then it's in the fridge for 7 days. Personally, I do not love doing that. I find it's not as fresh and it doesn't taste as good. But again, for today, I will be doing it as such. I'm just gonna go ahead and add a few garnishes. So for example, I like a bit of cherry tomatoes with the Greek pork. The bulgogi beef is really good with just a little bit sesame seeds. If you go ham on these, you do have to track it because this adds a lot of calories. For the teriyaki chicken, I like doing a little bit of corn. I think it goes really well together. I do track this even though it's quite light in calories. So I'm going to do 30 grams of that, and I'm also going to add a little bit of furikake on my rice. Here you go. All right, so the lunches have been assembled. I thought I would just do a little breakdown of the calories and macros in each for those of you who are curious. For the first day, which is Monday, it's going to be the bulgogi beef lunch, so the one right in the middle here. Keep in mind, every single lunch has the Greek yogurt breakfast, which is 232 calories, 28 grams of proteins, 5 grams of fat, and 19 grams of carbs. Then I have an apple in each as well. which is approximately 100 calories, so about 185 grams of Honeycrisp apple. These are quite big as well, so that's why I weighed them, just to make sure that I had the right amount of calories for that. So for the bulgogi lunch, the rice, which is 62 grams of rice, 125 grams of bulgogi beef, and the broccoli, is 30 grams of protein, 9 grams of fat, 28 grams of carbs for 318 calories. And then each day will also have a salty snack and a sweet snack. So the Jello cups are 50 calories each. The Oreos are 70 calories each. So that's 140 calories. So that day is going to be a little bit heavier, which is my Monday, tomorrow. And then they all have every single day has a rice cracker. So it's 108 calories for about 27 grams, which is 1 row of the cheese crackers. Then for Tuesday, I'm going to be having the teriyaki chicken. So for this, again, the calories for everything else doesn't change, but for this meal, it's 321 calories, 32 grams of protein, 7 grams of fat, and 32 grams of carbs. And for Thursday, I'm going to be having the Greek pork, which is 332 calories, 35 grams of protein, 9 grams of fat, and 29 grams of carbs. That's it for me today. I hope this was interesting and maybe gave you a few ideas for your lunches. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about what I did today, or if you have any video recommendations for the future. Thank you so much for watching.